Gambling has been an activity for hopeful risk-takers who are willing to test their luck for a long time now, but sometimes there are some deceitful bettors who have tried taking their luck out of the equation. Over the many years, casinos in Las Vegas and around the globe have been robbed for millions of dollars as sneaky criminals found ways to walk away with big winnings they had not lucked into, at least honestly. And today we'll look at some of them. So let's start. MIT Blackjack Team. Probably the most famous people on our list of casino cheaters, the MIT Blackjack Team made a strategy during the early 1990s, which used statistical schemes to take the practice of card counting to a new level. Then they made a team plan to count cards and practiced it in a number of different situations. So what was the result? Well, one of the most famous casino cheaters in history, immortalized in the film 21. Richard Marcus. After failing to earn a living with legal gambling, Marcus found himself without a home in Las Vegas, and he took a job as a baccarat as well as blackjack dealer. This gave the casino cheater a second perspective, and this allowed him to learn how casinos operate. This information was more than enough for Richard to find out a way to scam the casinos out of money, and in Richard's case, the money turned into millions throughout his career. Richard's scam was pretty simple, using a basic sleight of hand. He would place a simple bet, 2 red chips worth $5 on top of one $500 brown chip. But Marcus placed a bet, so through the eyes of the dealer, it would seem to be only a $15 bet with 3 red chips. If the bet which was set won, Richard would have to let the dealer know about the size of the bet and also pocket over $1,000. If the bet was lost, he waited until the dealer looked away and replaced the $510 in chips with $15 in chips. The simple scam worked for many years until Marcus was caught, prosecuted, and then banned from casinos. But this did not really stop Marcus though. To this day, he still works as a mentor to countless other cheats, operating a website and blog, and as the writer of 2 books, Marcus, who is the self-proclaimed world's #1 casino and poker cheating expert, still helps others through his so-called education. Edward Thorpe. Long before the MIT team made millions by playing blackjack, this MIT professor was learning the science of how to do the card counting that they would later use to gain. Edward Thorpe is said to be the father of card counting, and having used his expertise in probability to find out how to gain an advantage in the simple card game. Now using an ancient IBM 704 computer, Thorpe found out the code behind blackjack by understanding the probabilities of the game. Now that he had his knowledge, he had to test it and went to Vegas, Reno, and Lake Tahoe. Edward Thorpe listed the help of professional player Manny Kimmel to test out the method and made over $11,000 in the first weekend of play. Thorpe was convinced that his theories were spot on. And instead of just bleeding the casinos dry, he even published this phenomenon in a 1996 book, Beat the Dealer. That book became insanely popular by selling over 700,000 copies and made its way to the New York Times bestseller list. The income from the book made Thorpe and his wife quite a comfortable life after all this, and even gave them a lot of cash to spend weekends counting cards in Vegas. Today, Richard Thorpe is a member of the Blackjack Hall of Fame and having invented the Thorpe count method of counting cards. Tommy Glenn Carmichael. Tommy Carmichael's adventures in cheating casinos spanned more than 40 years, starting in the 1960s, and after he was introduced to the Top Point joint by his friend, Tommy went from working in a television repair shop instantly to scoring money on the Las Vegas Strip by scamming the coins out of the slot machines. Carmichael found a new tool named the Monkey Paw, then altered and hacked into the slot machines. Tommy's first arrest for cheating was in 1985, when the cheater was stopped by police and went to prison for 5 years. Now using a planned device while he was locked up, Tommy continued his scam right after he got released. And as slot machine technology evolved, Tommy's tricks did as well. As with the invention of the light wand in the year 1991, which worked on the newer electronic slot machines in the same way, he went on to sell this device to other cheaters, and with some banking over $10,000 almost every day using the tool. Then Tommy continued to operate on the down low, scamming casino boat cruises out of their money. Carmichael was again arrested in 1996 and charged with possessing and manufacturing a cheating device. However, the charges were later dropped. The casino cheater was lucky enough at the time, but not so lucky in his consistent arrests in 1998 and in 1999. Ron Harris. Harris was a computer technician whose job was to check and test slot machines throughout Nevada to ensure only computer chips approved by the state were being used. But there was more to him than that, of course. Harris used his knowledge of casino gaming and accessed Bally's programming for their Keno machine's random number generator, then used his computer equipment to duplicate the actual machine's calculations. His partner got caught after he took home $100,000 at Bally's in New Jersey after hitting 1 million to 1 odds. With inside info, safe to say Harris lost his job. Oops. Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo. Easily the most famous for cheating casinos in roulette, Pelayo cleaned out many casinos after the pro casino cheater cracked the code behind the spinning wheel. Also, the one-time Spanish record producer went from a simple family life to making well over $1.5 million by just playing roulette in Las Vegas over his career. Gonzalo's roulette career started off in Madrid with a simple theory that roulette wheels were not always perfectly random. The scammer spent hours recording roulette results and with the help of his computer analyzed the results to discover different possibilities of the game. Also, learning that there were a few flaws in each wheel, Pelayo learned that particular numbers fall more commonly than others. The clever cheater used this knowledge to make more than 600,000 euros on one of his first nights in Madrid. Clearly, this knowledge could not be wasted, and he came to Las Vegas, where he operated in the early 1990s. Then, after $2 million, Garcia Pelayo was blacklisted from casinos after his method was deemed unethical. But he did not stand down, and taking his fight to the Supreme Court, which ruled that he did nothing illegal. But now the damage was done, and at the same time, Garcia Pelayo's gambling career quickly ended there in 1992. But still, Garcia Pelayo is known as a pioneer of roulette cheating today and is the main reason that many casinos constantly test and monitor the performance of their roulette wheels now. Dominic Lorigio. Called the Dominator, Lorigio was the master at the craps tables and blackjack. After years of practicing, sometimes for hours on end, also Lorigio got to know how to do a control shooting, which is a sort of technique of getting the rolls when you need in craps, when you need them. Also, the method involves setting the dice a certain way by gripping them precisely, then tossing them so that they stay together in the air, and then having them land as smoothly as possible against the black wall of the dealing table. To this very day, many people still think that being able to control one dice, but still 2 dice is impossible. However, Lorigio has stated that he is able to do this through simple physics. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thank you for watching. See you again soon in another video.